Howdy, 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 everybody, and welcome to the Rekles Racing League here on Apex Racing TV. I am Austin Knight, aka the Wild Card himself, and I'm joined by the super Italian Marco Barbonera, and we are here live from Wild West Motorsports Park, and we're going to jump some trucks and kick some dirt today. Marco, how are you feeling?
Absolutely fantastic, and it's a pleasure, Austin, to be here for this, a first for Apex Racing TV, the first time we broadcast this kind of racing, and we pulled all the stops because, of course, Austin, you know almost everything about these tracks, and of course you will be happily guiding us throughout the procedures tonight. Seems like we are in for a very fun and unique event.
It's definitely going to be a very fun and unique event. A very first for us here at Apex Racing TV, as we don't really cover a lot of dirt stuff, and we definitely do not cover any truck stuff. But I can tell you, as somebody who loves getting down and dirty with four wheels, it's going to be very fun. 25-minute practice session, as you're watching right now, followed up by a 10-minute open qualifying session. And then it's a 17-lap race. They will have a standing start. The top 5 qualifiers will be inverted. Then on lap 9, there will be a competition caution and a single file restart. And that's going to be done through the drivers. So expect a very fun race here today, and certainly going to be a fan favorite to watch on.
Oh man, absolutely. I cannot wait for the race to begin. But Austin, look at the timing table right now. The lone Canadian is leading the way, and from what I've heard, Cameron Pedersen is an absolutely fantastic driver. I think he holds the world record around this place.
Yes, Cam Peterson does hold the world record around here, so just like his car, he is freaky fast.
We have seen some fantastic liveries all around the field. They say that a great livery makes you run a bit faster. We shall see. So let's go. Let's see if someone is about to start his lap. Yes, we have Tom Depke is about to start his lap. For the first-time viewers, I know that most of our viewers, especially given the time zone, will be, of course, aficionados. But what can we expect from the racing, and what is with these tracks, with these massive jumps? I mean, the scenery is absolutely breathtaking around here.
Well, to start off the lap with this massive kicker into this massive hill, hard on the brakes, and it's going to be very side-by-side and slidey around that first turn. You can easily roll these cars and then down the booter, and then coming into the most difficult part of the track, it's a double jump going into the braking zone, another hairpin, and then there's a little jump out of there coming onto this long left-hander, which is where the pit exit comes out of. We don't expect anyone to go into the pits today, and if they do, they'll be starting at the end of the lap. Then they're going up the hill, small humps right here with one of the biggest jumps up here. It's another double jump. It's technically a triple jump with that exit. It's very tricky to keep the car, truck really, planted down. Then it's down on the booter with another kicker at the floor, and you got to get it just right to avoid that kicker just absolutely flipping the car. And that is a lap around Wild West Motorsports Park. It's less than a minute lap time here, so expect this race to fly by, just like we're seeing these trucks go through the air. But that turn 1 is going to be very, very important. So expect the standing start that they're doing. By the way, they're doing the standing start by themselves. So there's no iRacing 5 red lights that we do. It's going to be on their own.
And Austin, so I would say that it's not only fighting against the other drivers, which of course we're going to see a lot of, but also it's massively important to find some good rhythm on this racetrack, because if you get it wrong, and if you get the rhythm wrong, you lose your tempo basically, just like if you're playing a musical instrument. Like you were saying, there are certain parts, certain jumps that you really want to avoid if you want to have a quick lap.
Exactly. In off-road racing, it's all about having a rhythm, especially in short course racing. As somebody who's done not short course racing and more Baja style stuff, we do have a rhythm, but it's more listening to the track notes and just figuring out where it is. But in some tracks that do have a jumping section, and we will have to find that rhythm in the practice sessions. But here it's all about rhythm. How much throttle you put in? Do you brake before it? Do you lift off? Which gear you're going to? And it is a very important track to have everything you want, as we are seeing the Tacoma Incredibles car driven by Jack Kirk right now as he swings around the very final corner. That's nice. He's got the name Jack on there. I just noticed that. Lovely livery, I must say.
This is, of course, you know, I'm a sucker for the blue oval. This is absolutely my favorite of them all. Really
the Ford
beautiful.
Raptor of Tom Depcree. And the best thing is, these guys are making up these, there's no Ford Raptor trucks. These guys are just making whatever truck that they want be whatever they want. And I believe Tom drives a Ford Raptor in real life.
You know, it's a good thing that, you know, I've recently learned that basically, I mean, these trucks right here don't have really much problem, but for example, the K&N car, which is technically an Impala car, Chevy, therefore, iRacing doesn't take too kindly if you stream a race on their network especially and change it to a Ford like I wanted to do for the Majors race. But we are perfectly in the clear with this because on Apex Racing TV we do whatever we want. And of course these are unbranded trucks, just Lucas Oil series branded trucks, as you can see from the car logo here. Lucas Oil, so there is no specific manufacturer, therefore these drivers can go and have gone crazy with their liveries all around the track. I mean, I love when racing is fun, it's hard, it's spectacular, and also a festival of colors. I like the different liveries, and these guys have done a fantastic job all around.
Yeah, the Toyota Tundra right there, driven by Edmondson, Jeremy Sotoff. I don't believe he's driving a branded truck right there, as he's going very wide. And here's Cameron coming out of the pit lane. But I must say, I'm a huge sucker for Toyotas.
Man, and this also, this livery by Scott M. Ford, which is not a Ford.
No, it is a Ford.
Well, that's his name.
Oh! I've noticed that. I must say, my new favorite NASCAR driver is Bubba Wallace, and I love this livery.
Oh yeah,
the reason why I like
yeah, you're right. It reminds me a bit of his livery, absolutely.
Yeah, Air Force inspired livery right there. But the reason why I like Bubba Wallace now, I saw the video of him playing, just absolutely destroying the drums at the barn at Phoenix.
Oh, by the way, I think also there is an IndyCar team that's going to run with that a similar livery to that. Maybe this, if
that would be gosh, as somebody who has IndyCar media access, I would know this off the top of my head. Connor Daly.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, Austin, a man that knows many people in high places, therefore he has access to, you know, IndyCar testing, where he did a fantastic job, of course. He has passed in racing. Myself, I am a lowly track marshal, but I do my best. Certainly, I have never been a marshal for something like this.
Yeah, if you're a marshal like this, you would be wearing a helmet and then hiding for some stuff, because there are going to be a lot of airtime as this 10-minute qualifying session has begun. I believe this is a single car. No, it's
it's all together.
It's open car. Yes.
Yeah,
the interesting part. The interesting part about this track is this pit lane. It's downhill. The very tight pit exit is just separated by a couple banners and then a Geico safety barrier. But it's halfway around the track that they have that. So it's a good way to warm up the car's engine. You would expect me to say warm up the car's tires, but really, tire temperature and dirt, they don't mix out well. But it would be good to beat out your line that you want to use. If you ever race dirt, you know that each track has that optimum line, but throughout the race, that line's going to change judging by how much dirt is being splayed up by these guys.
And you know, Austin, we have an off-road racetrack inside the Vallelunga.
Oh!
And Connor Parise goes around and up and over. We have our first flip, at least we caught on camera. We have an off-road track, but it's used for like solo 4x4 basically runs with, you know, Jeep vehicles. Very cool, but I don't think they ever organize races there. So, on the bottom of the screen, you will follow the drivers. The closer they are to the left of the screen, that means the closer they are to the start-finish line. And of course, green, they're improving on themselves. Purple, they're improving on the best time overall. And yellow, they are not improving. You can see their progress. Of course, everyone is on an outlap. So let's see who's going to be the first. It's going to be English with a 50.5, followed by Ford. He's 1 second back, but as you can see, the lap times are flying in one after the other.
Yeah, as you said, they were on an outlap, but really, their first lap is their lap since the pit lane is behind the start-finish line. So that first lap was their lap that they are qualifying. And remember, the top 5 will be reversed at the start of this race, as we just got a quick onboard shot from Josh Edmondson.
So I'm thinking that they are going to do basically a standing start that will work as the pace lap, and then they will roll on their own with a rolling start. My idea is that.
No, they're having it's a standing start, they aren't going, and then they're having their own pace lap, and then they're having another standing start.
You sure?
Given...
I bet you $10 that I'm right and you're wrong.
I'm going over the notes right now. We do a standing start at our own pace lap to invert the top 5. That's all I have known for the start.
Here comes Dave Bodio. Purple in the third sector. Let's see if he can improve. He's sitting in third, 4 tenths of a second behind the pole position of Pedersen. He goes up into second, very close to Pedersen's time.
Okay, I believe it is a rolling start. Yeah, they are going on the leader. Okay, it is a rolling start. Because it is a rolling start in most short course off-road, except for one off-road course, which will be coming to iRacing very soon. And that will be Crandon, which, as somebody who's a fan of Land Rush starts, ooh la la.
So you mean a start like they do in motocross, basically?
Yes. Yeah. Line up about 20 trucks side by side of each other and let them go.
That is going to be fun.
I'm just waiting to see on how that works.
See the racing, yes. That's going to be a bit. It's
going to be a bit chaotic.
We know these guys, of course, running these vehicles, which have been on iRacing for a bit. Unfortunately, I think the official series are suffering a bit in the participation because of, they only have 2 tracks, and for the rookie series they have to resort to the rallycross circuits, which are not really the bread and butter of these tracks here. So the more the merrier. Cannot wait to have some new race tracks to run in. As Pedersen once again, 49.245, and so basically he does 1 lap or 2 at tops, and then he parks the car, goes back to the pits. Here comes Franks, green in every sector. Oh, and 7th place. So ever so close
for Franks.
Yeah, ever so close to that 5th spot, which will grant you pole position.
Yeah, that final hump going into this braking zone, which I would say would be the hardest braking zone and the hardest part of the track, it is very tricky because you hit it and you get airborne. You just have no time to break down the car. So you're going to be seeing a lot of e-brakes being deployed there and people sliding it in, which is something that I love doing in these trucks and in the buggies that I used to race. Because to get these giant cars that you have to drive around. You have to kick out the back end sometimes just to get grip and get these things to turn, actually. Because they're so heavy, you have all this horsepower. And the more horsepower it is, the kind of easier it is to turn, but the harder it is to control out of a corner. But the weight of these trucks just make it so easy. And just look at the suspension, how they're being moved.
Yeah, the suspension works are absolutely fantastic. I mean, watching these suspensions bend, and the shock absorbers, I think they're doing a massive work. It's a thing of beauty to see these things go around. I mean, look at that, boom! And the whole work that iRacing did, I think, on the compression physics is absolutely top notch. If you told me that this would be in iRacing when I first started 5 years ago now, I would have never believed you. Dirt racing, let alone the pro trucks, but here we are, and I again just need, I think, it's very, and what is transpiring from this, and I think it's pretty obvious, but needs to be said regardless. These are very tough vehicles to drive and be good at, so that's what keeps people away, I'm afraid, other than the fact that it's only 2 tracks available, as Edmondson is coming out of the pits, sitting in 3rd. We'll try to get another lap, as we have a good lap from William Booth, as he's coming home. He's sitting in 11th place, 3 green sectors. Still in 11th, he improves. You can see the whole field is in around 2 seconds, but the top 11 is in less than 1 second. Last 3 guys, Ford, Rosenqvist, and Kirk, lagging a bit behind.
Yeah, remember, top 5 will be inverted during their pace lap. So when you hear the spotter go green, 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 they are not going green, green, green. They're just, it's the formation green, green, green. As you would see in some Formula races. As new best lap, Cameron Peterson, world record holder around here, 49.232. Almost 2/10 faster than second place Bodio. That last kicker is so scary because all you just see is ground. It's a very weird. Yeah. It's a very weird feature of this track, and hard into the wall goes Kirk. I remember I did a Max Bantz event with Southpaw Racer. Here we did the solstices around here, and let me tell you,
that sounds like a very bad idea.
It was a very bad idea, and I was very happy I qualified last, but I did get into the finals, got to the final heat, and my strategy was not to shift at all because I knew on how light the car is and how loose the tires, so I just kept it in 3rd gear, and going onto that kicker, I actually braked and just went over it slowly because it just launches your car just nose first to give you a lot of damage. And oh my goodness, just that suspension working so hard to keep these bodies just from hitting the ground. But some of these guys been running very soft suspensions. I've seen a driver like on his outlap, he just has a very soft front suspension. He'll have that bent front end right there. These guys are pulling off the track right now. 10 seconds remain in this qualifying session. Peterson, Bodio, Edmondson, praise your top 4.
I think that let's jump with Bodio if he takes another lap. I mean, the scenario that you see from here is absolutely astonishing. I mean, look at that, and you see all the hills, the mountains. Pedersen gets another fantastic 49.203. Pole position, gets a checkered flag, as we have someone...
Oh, we got a car on its side!
On his lead there.
I think that may have been Ford. No, it wasn't Ford. As Ford... yeah, Ford's running a very soft front suspension, getting a lot of nose damage on that car. Which doesn't affect it that much because it's just body. all the important bits are behind the driver. As whoa,
Oh, wow, okay.
Superman right there. He's got a very heavy back suspension.
Oh, look at this livery. St. Louis Blues. I know, I'm a hockey fan myself, and
Oh!
a little bit of help from from Jack Kirk by William Harris, and qualifying is over. And yeah, I'm an Ottawa Senators fan, so I'm not biased towards American teams. Therefore, I can say that I really like that livery.
I really like it too because my hometown minor league team was actually a feeder team for them until my favorite team bought them and moved them out to Vegas. And I have to root for them because my last name is Knight.
So this is the qualifying results, Austin, and of course a reminder to the viewers that the top 5 will be reversed.
So your starting grid here is going to be Jeremy Soderoff on pole, followed by Connor Praise, Josh Edmondson, David Bodio, and Cameron Peterson in 5th place. They're followed by Lon Franks, Tom Depke, William R. Harris, John Binder, Don English, William Booth, and Scott M. Ford at the back of the grid with Douglas Rosenquist and Jack Kurt. And I've really got dizzy right there because I've never read 5th to 1st before. But that is your starting grid for the Rekles Racing League here at Wild West Motorsports Park for 17 laps with a competition caution on lap 9, just like the Stadium Super Trucks do.
Okay, so probably the counter will go up 1 lap, so it will be on lap 10 for us probably, when the competition caution will come out. But nevertheless, we will clearly see it because, yeah, people will... you have the radio on, I would hope.
Yes, I have the radio on, so I'll let you know when it happens.
That's why I love working with you, Austin. Always on the spot.
Yeah, always on the spot and able to listen about 3 things at once.
Exactly. Well, at the very least, I am as quiet and calm as a co-commentator can get. Only waiting for Connor Paris, and there is, and so there will be the green, the lights on top of your screen. They will not, they will only signal, just like F1, the start of the pace lap.
All right, and the formation lap has started. As you can see, the top 5 moving about right now, and this should be a bit of a nice procession for these guys. As Soderoff takes the pole, followed by Praise and Edmondson, as they're taking this opening lap very, very calm, and it's nice for the Rekles car to be starting off pole for the Rekles Racing League.
Also, I'm seeing that it's 70 laps, so this lap will count towards. So I'm expecting the competition caution to be on lap 9. So yes. This is effectively a 16-lap race, all things considered.
I just love this starting, the way that they do this. It's their own driven pace lap, just like a few oval leagues that I love taking apart in. They do their own pace lap and everything. I know the Open Wheels 500, they did their 3-wide pace lap, which was insane to watch. And now it's all in the hands of Jeffrey Soderoff as they're coming around the final corner. And down they're going to go when he goes. And let's go off-road truck racing here at Wild West Motorsports Park. Cars jumping and sliding into turn 1. Looking up the inside, that's Edmondson going side by side with Praise. Soderoff still leading off as they jump in to the hard Rockstar.
Oh, the flip for the leader!
No!
The leader has flipped.
Soderoff has flipped and rolled over, and now he's stuck on a barrier. Soderoff is stuck. New leader is Praise with Edmondson right behind. Soderoff is stuck. He's going to try to rev as much as he can and counter steer to knock himself forward. I believe he has done that. And let's ride on board with Peterson as he's going down the inside, a little bit of grinding the berm for Peterson is on the inside of Bodio as we're finishing out lap 1 here at Wild West.
Wow, I would have never thought I've seen something like that. Leader flipping on lap 1 Hopefully we will get a shot of that during the competition caution, because there's action all over the field right now, Austin.
Action all over the field. It is from first all the way down to 10th place. Side by side, the leaders go. Praise and Edmondson, as let's throw it up to the blimp as Edmondson's looking up the inside. That freaky fast car trying to get on Praise. Going side by side, that Toyota Tundra looking up the inside. He's forcing his way on the hairpin, and he does. New leader, Josh Edmondson.
Big fight here between Ford and Rosenqvist, as Edmondson gets the fastest lap of the race so far, a 50.173, but Parise is not okay with that. He wants to get the lead back as soon as possible.
Yeah, Perez looking around the outside. Very difficult corner to get it right. He can try to swing it up the inside. And yes, he does. Try to go for the switchback. Perez and Edmondson, but look at that. There's Bodio now looking up the inside of Perez. Leaders 1, 2, 3, nose to tail, kicking up the dirt. And if you have particles on full here, you're going to be having a very rough day trying to see ahead of you. And a lot of dirty, dirty visor. As, oh my goodness, two-wheeling on the berm. Bodio trying to get any advantage that he can, as Paris and Edmondson going side by side, jumping through the air. Both of them literally tied, finishing that lap. As you can see, the suspension being worked a little bit above. Paris bumping out Edmondson, and Edmondson going wide. Now it's Paris, Bodio, you're first, second, and Edmondson drop down to third. So they're heading into the Rockstar turn. Here comes Edmondson.
Contact!
Edmondson's around it. Edmondson is trying to get back as much as he can. He went a little bit too wheeling, did a little bit of wheeling now. That was actually Paris.
Yeah, but it was Paris. Yes. As look at that. Man, this is so entertaining. Basically now, line astern. Everyone, the top 6, 7 trucks all together.
Top 6, 7. Oh my goodness. This is pack racing with where you don't think pack racing would come. Let's ride on the tail of Edmondson as we fly through the air.
Oh man, he's absolutely amazing.
If we were allowed to show the face cams of our face right now, it's just smile.
And let me tell you something, in this tough period we all need a little bit of happy moments. And oh dear! Oh, okay, no, he's back.
Got a little help. You got a little help from Booth right there. Let's go back out of the front. Edmondson and Paris still leading it out. Pretty much deja vu. It's the Tundra. The Jimmy John's Tundra of Edmondson, followed by the Ford. I believe that should be a F-150. I know there was a Ford Raptor car down the field. But it's Edmondson and Paris as they fly through the air for the beginning of lap 7. Oh, actually that's a Toyota TRD. So that would be a Tacoma then.
Look at them bounce as they head into what you called aptly the Rockstar corner with a Rockstar can. There are, I think, several of them around this racetrack. There's another one.
Yes, there's another one. This one, I believe, is called Battery because there is a giant inflatable battery on the outside of it. Coming up to the very top of the course before drifting it around and flying down this massive hill. They got that kicker right now. Oh, big hit for Paris. He got onto the wall just a little bit, and Peterson has got a good run on Paris. Paris is going to be struggling. He's going to have the inside line, and it's got the speed around the outside. Peterson drops up into second place, but Paris now has that inside line as they rocket down the hill and into Rockstar.
Paris losing a bit of momentum there. Now here comes Bodio on the inside, so you have to be careful. If you go too much on the inside, you risk rolling over, as we have seen our pole sitter, Jeremy Sodorf, who is, by the way, still on the lead lap, but as you can see, he is praying for that competition caution. He should stay on the lead lap comfortably, at least he has that. Hopefully he doesn't have too much damage, as Pedersen wants to get the lead of the race. Let's see if they're going to drop it right now as soon as these guys go past the start-finish line, if we have the competition caution straight away. I'm
listening to race control right now as they pass through onto lap 9. and competition caution has been called. So, how's your heartbeat going?
Oh man, I mean, of course, you know, here it's a quarter to 3 in the morning, so I have to a little bit contain my excitement, but it's so difficult to do that because it's so exciting, so unique. As we have a couple of takers, by the way, Jack Kirk, and there's a poor cone. I mean, it's very scary, this pit lane. I mean, if you go the risk like
oh yeah, if you go just a little bit too wide, you're gonna be falling down a little bit of a hill, and a little bit of contact right there. They do have the they're morphing with each other now. All right, quick repair, but they will be taking a penalty and start from the end of line, which is what they were going to do, and they're going to be going on Edmondson right there, as that lonely pace truck is not being used today. But it's a good time to crack open a cold one and get ready to go back racing here at Wild West Motorsports Park. And it's all in the hands of Edmondson as he faked them all out. Playing my games right now, and they're going back green and racing here for the Rekles Racing Series.
A bit of contact.
Yep.
Flip!
No!
Tom
The
Depke!
Raptors upside down!
And he will have to tow to the pits, unfortunately, as here comes the Canadian Peterson to try and take the lead, but fantastic defending from the 58 of Josh Edmondson, as Paris needs to get close. Maybe he's got some damage, maybe not, but the fact of the matter is, seems like these top two are starting to pull away, even though Austin fighting will make their life a bit tougher, as again a little bit of contact there.
These trucks love battling side by side. They do have a lot of people following them and trying to get that, but it's all about the rhythm. Like we were saying in practice, you gotta get the rhythm of the jumps, you gotta get the rhythm of the turning, you got to get the rhythm of the braking, because these cars love going side by side. And get in there just a little bit. I know the spotter, if you run these trucks side by side, just goes absolutely nuts. Of hold your line, he's still there while you're hugging the apex. It's such a disorientating feeling that some of these guys actually run with a spotter off. As let's throw it into the chopper and watch the top three up. Peterson, Edmondson, and Praise drifting around Battery and fly up the hill.
I have to say, this is a fantastic chopper from iRacing. Thank you very much. I mean, much better than the chopper we get on the normal racetracks. This looks like a proper chopper, like, you know.
Well, it's more like a drone, really.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
This track is so up and down right now that this thing is so low to the ground at the very top of the course and very high up at the bottom. It's a long drift for Edmondson. And here comes Paris. He's looking for it. You're going to see on how dirty the grill is right now. No engines in the front, just suspension components. All the engine is in the back of these trucks. As you can see where those 4 fans are. That's how they get their cooling.
Peterson now pulling away Austin. This is the moment he was waiting for. Let's bring up those gaps once again. He's got 1.2 seconds over the 2 closest rivals. Once again, world record holder of this racetrack, as we are heading into the final few laps of this race. Look at the amount of dirt being kicked up in the air, as we have a fight here with Harris and Booth passing and repassing each other.
Oh, so beautiful. Still getting those trucks into the air. The Midwest car is going a little bit wide. And here comes English in a neck of time. As they're going side by side, the St. Louis Blues cars of Harris ahead of all these guys of this little pack as they're flying through Rockstar. You can see the brakes kind of glowing right there, trying to shred off all the dirt. Man, let me tell you, my uncle-in-law, who does the Baja 1000, tells you dirt on a brake disc is your worst nightmare. I didn't have to worry about that much in buggies and UTVs because I wasn't really following behind anyone, but when you race trucks, they're insane.
Peterson had the fastest first sector, fastest second sector, but a pedestrian third sector. I thought he was going to have the fastest lap of the race this time around. He's still pulling away almost 2 seconds right now, so he took his time making his way from P5 up to the lead, but he did that as we continue to have this beautiful fight back there and in front here between Edmondson and Parise for the second and third spot. Look at the, you are right, look at the amount of dirt. Some like Edmondson's track is a bit clearer, but for example Parise's and Bodio's are absolutely 100% muddy, and I absolutely love it. And look at the dynamic track of iRacing really shining right now. You can see the way this, the preferred line of these drivers quite clearly on the ground.
Yeah, I know all these guys must have a button to clear off their visor because you would not be able to see. And the amount of tear-offs these guys must have on their helmets is intense. That's, oh, big contact, but a great slide job from English to secure that position. And, oh, Praise getting a little bit squirrely with Edmondson right there.
Let's take a look at the gearbox camera of the 58 facing the 11. Oh! Oh man.
The suspension bay worked so hard, and I'm trying to remember what Edmondson had the front of his car and what his car is badged as. I believe it was a Silverado at a time, but now it's just dirt.
And of course I had a thought, as we have Sodorf and Ford going at it here for 11th place. Can you imagine driving these things in a motion rig? Can a motion rig even support this kind of hits and bumps?
I need to talk. I know who I'm talking to after this race. Hello, Sim Racing Labs. How are you doing? Those guys, that guy with his motion rig is just insane. I believe they do. It's just going to be very juddering because the amount of forces you get, the suspension takes a lot of it. Let me tell you, if you have a very well-tuned suspension, it's going to be like a fine breeze through white as we enter white flag.
Sale la banca.
Ah, you said it. Oh, and a great inside move by Parise. Parise, he was timing it for the very last lap. He had Edmondson where he wanted to. And now they're side by side, heading into Rockstar. Edmondson up the inside. Parise trying to go around the outside. A little bit of two-wheel action for Parise as he's trying to close down on Edmondson. He's looking up the inside so once more. As that Dirtfish Vision car trying to do anything, they're banging wheels as they see the leader flying up through the horizon and drop down now as it's all eyes on Cameron Pearson, the lone Canadian, as he jumps over the start-finish line and takes the victory here in the Rekles Racing Series. And it's Edmondson in second with Perez in third, followed by Bonio as we got a good battle right here, English and Harris, and it looks like English is going to take him in the nick of time to get sixth place, and yes, he does. Rosenquist and Stodroff pole sitter, but unfortunately had that massive flip at the very start. He's going to finish in 11th place, as here's Jack Kirk in that Jack themed car, finishing at 13th with Depke ahead of him, and we saw that Ford Raptor unfortunately get stuck on its roof. Let's take a look at a few replays. So he's trying to calm down. Here's John Bender right now as he's looking down the inside of a big contact, and oh, this is one of the cars. As, oh, what a hit. As I do have a comment on the how the motion ribs works. It works, but it isn't accurate. Yes.
Trying to get, of course, a replay of the start of the race, which was absolutely chaotic, and here we are. So this is from the perspective of our pole sitter. Of course, it's the next lap around. There we go. So let's see what happened to him, because we were watching all around the field to see what happened, and all of a sudden there was our leader, you know, pointing in the wrong direction.
Oh.
Too tightly on the inside, Austin, and then he reversed it to get out of the way, and unfortunately he got the worst of it. Scott Ford also had an issue, I think, later during that first phases of the race, going a bit slowly here and basically coming almost to a halt. What can we say? This was a fantastic event. Let's give you the race results, Austin, which should be coming on your screen in just a second.
The race results are Cameron Peterson for Jim Beaver Esports taking the victory ahead of Josh Edmondson. Connor Praise takes the podium as well in third. They're followed by Dave Badillo, Lon Franks, Don English, William R. Harris, William Booth, John Bider, Doug Rosenquist, Jeremy Sodroff, Scott M. Ford, Jack Kirk, and Tom DeBecke. Your results today here for the Rekles Racing Series. And let's take a good interview with your winner, Cam Peterson. Cam, how are you doing?
Doing good. How are you?
Having a good old time. That was a great experience watching that and calling on that, and I must say that was very fun.
Yeah, it's always fun racing with these guys. Always put on a good show. It's always clean and but still really tight. It's always a good time.
Yeah, you had a very crowded start. You didn't really jump into the lead at much until after the competition caution. Was that always planned?
I just trying to take my time at the start there. I knew it was a 17-lap race with the competition caution. I didn't really care how far the leader got out there, but I knew he would come back in during the competition caution. But I had to get around Dave and Connor as well, and they're both extremely quick. It wasn't easy, but I just took my chances when they came available and tried to just use them as the best I could.
You were the heavy favorite going into this, being the world record at both of the Pro 4 tracks. I really don't really have much to say about that because everyone pretty much picked you to win since you are the world record holder. But at the start of these races with the interesting rolling start and the inverted top five, how is it fighting through the field here?
Yeah, it's always challenging, and that's the point of it. We don't want to have just the top one or two guys run away from the field. We want to have tight racing. To have some real competition it's more fun that way, for sure. And these guys are all good enough, and they have good enough racecraft and the experience to be able to race cleanly as you're fighting with them. So it's always a pleasure, and it's just a great time.
It certainly looks like a great time, and it really wants me to go back to off-road dirt racing like I used to do. But geez, I'm glad. Congrats on the victory and everything. And before we let you go, anyone you want to shout out?
Yeah, I want to thank you guys for hopping on board with us and going live. I thought that was pretty cool. Never thought that would be an option for us, but definitely a plus. Being able to have a live event like that is pretty wicked. And I want to thank all my teammates at the Jim Beaver Esports. And they got some sponsors. They got General Tire, Jim Beaver's Down and Dirty Radio Show. Got Dirtfish, Super ATV, Rigid Industries LED Lighting, Gibson Performance Exhaust, Polaris Razor, Four Wheel Parts, Impact Helmets, Vision Wheels, 07 Designs, and Sant Racing Fabrication. Those guys on that team are phenomenal, very open-minded, but very quick, and just a whole plethora of knowledge those guys have been able to switch with me anyways in terms of my experience with Pro 4s as well. So yeah, awesome night tonight, and looking forward to doing it again.
Awesome. Well, we're certainly happy that you had a grand old time. Thank you for joining us, and I hope you have a good night. And now I believe we got Connor Parise with you, Marco.
No, we have second place in the race. No, it disappeared at the last second. I wanted to interview Josh Edmondson, but just as I was about to call him up, he disappeared. So yes, we have Connor Parise. Welcome to the booth, Connor. How are you doing?
Well, good guys. How are you?
doing fantastically fine. So how was the race from your perspective?
Certainly action-packed. I think every corner, me and Josh were laying fenders to each other, but that's part of the fun of Pro 4 racing.
So, what do you think about the format? The top 5 reverse, then the competition caution. Do you think, and I think you will agree, I think it made for an absolutely fantastic experience. What was your idea on that?
Yeah, I certainly liked it. Starting second was definitely a plus for me. I never would have been able to keep up with Cam and Dave if they didn't start behind me. So it was good to have a little bit of a battle with all the fast.
So, it was absolutely fantastic having you guys race with us tonight on Apex Racing TV. Hopefully, this is the first of many. So, yes, congratulations once again, Connor. And before we let you go, anyone you'd like to thank?
I heard Cam thank all of our sponsors, so I'm not going to put those down your throat again. But I just want to thank Cam and Dave for helping me get back up to speed. I haven't driven these trucks in a couple months, so it's good to jump back into them. Thank you guys for putting on the broadcast. Hopefully I will be back in the series. I'll definitely see you guys in the TCR series, the Apex TCR. I'll be driving in that, so I'll see you guys then.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you very much, Connor. Enjoy a good rest of the day and catch you very soon, hopefully.
Thanks, Bills.
All right, that was Connor Paris, and now let's bring in Josh Edmondson, who I believe is here right now. Josh, how you feeling? All right, he's still. Are you, Marco? You got him right.
He is in the room with us. I see his microphone going on and off. But
Yeah,
Can you hear me now?
Yes,
yes, we can hear you now. We got you loud and
Oh,
clear.
sorry
How
about
you
that.
doing, man?
I'm good.
You had
Yeah,
that massive battle for second and third with Connor. How was that going side by side and well, just sliding around each and every quarter?
No, it was a challenge, man. It was awesome. That was a really cool battle. Definitely fun to keep it clean like that. Throw doors here and there, but not running each other off the track or anything. Or definitely an awesome race. Wish we would have kept Cam a little closer, but that's a really tough thing to do.
Yeah, start of the race for you was pretty scary since you were kind of in the back of it, but you did have to deal with a car flipping around your outside and just tight door to door. How do you feel about the format with the whole top 5 being reversed?
Oh, I like it. It's definitely a challenge, and it keeps from guys like Cam just walking away with the thing. Definitely played into my favor there. Jeremy getting flipped and leaving the door open for me to take the lead right after that. That was definitely nice. But I think, man, Connor and I were battling that entire race. It felt like so. Yeah, it was definitely a blast. It was a good.
Yeah, we definitely have a lot of highlight reel worthy stuff with your two battle. You stayed in the lead most of the time, and we were able to see that nice Toyota badge. I want to say Tundra on there, but it does have a TRD on there. So is it a Tundra or Tacoma?
Well, it's just a Pro 4 race truck, so it's whatever they want to call it. It's TRD power.
Yeah, TRD power. As somebody who drives Toyota, when I did a bunch of Baja stuff, Toyota all the way.
That's right. That's cool.
First
Yeah, man, it's a blast. These trucks are a blast to drive, blast to race with guys like this. Similar pace and clean racers. So yeah,
it's always nice to see clean racing and very close clean racing, especially when you're kicking up dirt and flying through the air half the time. Just you want to sum up the race for us and how it was for you?
Oh, it was good, man. I mean, I'm definitely used to looking at Cameron's bumper in these Pro 4s. He's been the guy to beat for sure in this league. So anytime to get close with him there, and then he brought some of his teammates in recently. They're obviously really fast as well. So, man, it's really good. I'm just stoked to be up there with those guys, and and hopefully get a win in one of these.
Well, you're getting closer and closer. Only one more place to go since that was second for you. And before we let you go, anyone you want to thank?
Man, not really. No sponsors in here yet. Maybe someday I'll get on a team here and we'll make some.
All right. Well, thank you, man. and I hope you have a grand old time tonight.
All right, thanks for the broadcast, guys. Look forward to watching it back.
You certainly will, I must say. You certainly will.
Oh yeah. All right,
All
thanks,
right.
guys. Have a good night.
You too. And that was Josh Edmondson. Marco, how would you sum up this race?
Intense, exciting, absolutely. If we had to do another one like now, I would gladly do it despite being 3 in the morning here in Italy, because this was absolutely amazing. I mean, it's so refreshing and nice to see something unique, and also it's very nice to see that these guys really are a tightly knit community, who are able to, basically, police themselves into the pace lap and the competition caution, the reverse grid, etc. I had a lot of fun, and the scenario, I mean, it looks like you are on the moon here, basically, with this kind of landscape that you have. Yes, I had so much fun. These guys are fantastic drivers. Cannot wait for the next one.
I cannot wait either way, as well as somebody who pretty much started their car racing career on dirt. This is very refreshing for me and bringing back a lot of memories. Some good, some bad, but a lot of smiles, I must say. Thank you, everybody, for watching the Rekles Racing League here on Apex Racing TV at Wild West Motorsports Park. I've been joined by the Super Italian himself, Marco Barbonero, and I'm the wild card, Austin Knight, and I hope y'all have a good night.